Good morning, my friends. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so I can be with you forever. I'm going to be leaving my email in the description, so if you want anything at all, feel free to contact me there. So today, I'm going to be talking about, it's kind of like an old saying that floats around in a lot of conversations that people have anytime that art is discussed in some kind of way. I actually started thinking about this a lot after seeing a Adam Neely video where he was doing like a Q&A kind of thing, and someone asked the question about why he was doing so much politically charged posts or whatever, and his response was that, all art is theoretically political, and even making art that isn't political is in itself a political statement. And I just had to take a step back and think about that, because I've heard that used a lot, and it's used a lot, especially by educated people, academic people, in a context of trying to assert that politics are just intertwined in everything, in every fabric of reality, which I just kind of find a little bit odd, because it's just completely not true. It's just complete bullshit. It's not based in any function of reality to even assert something like that. All art is political. It makes absolutely no sense. Politics are such a okay, yeah, they're relevant in the context of how we conduct ourselves in society, but in the grand scheme of everything that exists in the possible aspects of our own lives, it's completely irrelevant. Are you really going to look at a 5-year-old's drawing that he or she does, or some drawing that they do on the wall or whatever? I'm trying to use gender neutral pronouns here. But a fucking 5-year-old's drawing on the wall, are you really going to say that's a political statement in the fact that it's, has not, let's just say it's a drawing of some trees and a sun, right? Are you really going to say and assert yourself that there's a political message that the artist intended in this drawing? For sure, you can make up a political message with that kind of drawing or any kind of piece of artwork. All art is interpretive. So if you're a person that just is fixated on politics, obviously you're going to see politics in everything, which is where I think this argument that all art is political comes from. It actually has nothing to do with the art. It has more to do with the actual person interpreting the art, who's just consumed their entire existence based around politics, to the point where all they see is politically inclined agendas, right? They'll see a 5-year-old's drawing and think, oh wow, that's a political message about the collapse of late capitalism, whatever, some made up fucking bullshit. Red team is better than blue team kind of stuff. So that's ultimately the agenda of these people, is to try to inject politics into every single function of reality. It's a little bit psychotic, and it has nothing to do with the concept of politics. We need, society to exist. We need some sort of boundary, some sort of system that keeps everything together in some way or another. It's never going to be perfect, because we don't live in a perfect world. We live in, we think about what life was before civilization. We were pretty much just dying most of the time. And then if we're lucky, we got some food for the day, because we were just fucking surviving in the middle of nature, right? So the politics are a complete invention of man. So to say that all art is political is complete nonsense, because of the fact that it's inventing. It's like saying all art is farming, or all art is cooking, all art is religion, all art is religious. You can do it with anything, really. The fact that we have to inject politics now into everything is just completely insane. I don't even understand why people accept this statement as a fact. Yes, all art is political. I learned this in my art history class, and you can't even argue against it anymore. It's just kind of this thing that just exists. And like people say it and they're like, oh yeah, it's like when people say it is what it is, you know, that's kind of one of those things that people do. And so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I don't really have much else to talk, so it's going to be a kind of a short video here. But yeah, I mean, like, I certainly have like art that's probably like a little bit politically inclined, and then there's also stuff that I just had, there's no aspect of politics involved whatsoever. But someone can listen to that and think, oh, there's the political message, even though I didn't put it in there. But that's the thing about art, it's so expansive, there's so much going to it. So yeah, like if you have a person whose entire reality or their subjective view of reality is completely in line and dependent upon connecting politics to everything, then yeah, of course you're going to see art in a political lens, and you're going to try to equate that to whatever, you know, ideology you've attached yourself to, which is more of a problem in general. And I find if you are an artist, right, and you have that kind of mindset where you think everything is politically charged, everything has to do with politics, you're going to be limiting your mode of expression, right? You're going to be limiting your sense of being able to actually express yourself, because politics is a man-made invention. So when we talk about art as a spiritual, ethereal kind of, it's a stance of immortality almost, immortality of the material plane. So when you create something, you are expressing your identity in a format that lives forever, right? So if all you're doing is injecting a political message into your art, that's all people are going to think of you as, and you will die with the rest of humanity in that context. That's who you are. You are a political message, right? When you go into the afterlife or whatever, if you believe in that stuff, let's just say, you know, you become a spirit or whatever, your spirit is just basically a political ideology at that point, which, you know, seems kind of silly if you're going into the afterlife with man-made inventions that don't have any pertaining value in the real world. When I say real world, I mean the physical reality that we exist in the physical universe, in the grand scheme of all of creation. You know, your Marxist theory isn't really that relevant in the context of anything, actually. So the fact that people ascribe political views into art is very silly. Unless it's like obviously part of the art. I'm not trying to say that art can't be political. Art can be anything, really. So, you know, this isn't to say that political art is bad. There's a lot of great political art out there. My main point is that if you're under the impression that all art has to be political, or all art is political in that context, then that's a huge problem, and you're limiting yourself both as a person who either creates art or consumes it, because all you're doing is fueling a man-made concept that has no real relevance in existence. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.